The SNB continues to try and combat the strength of the Swiss franc. This time they have increased liquidity available to Swiss banks. But will this be enough, and is there more to come? I'm joined by Marcus Hettinger from Credit Suisse. Marcus, there has been speculation over a peg to the euro. Do you think this remains a possibility?
I mean, we basically think that that would be the last thing that the SNB would do. So they would first try all other measures they have done so far. So we had today the third liquidity injection, which basically means that yields will probably become even more negative. And I think a peg, or I mean, one has really to find what one means with a peg. We think a pure peg with a number doesn't make sense, because then if the euro goes up, then basically they would need to sell the euro. So a peg like in Hong Kong versus the US dollar is unlikely. But there could be further measures, as they announced also today. There could be direct currency interventions, or then something like a floor. That's also a possibility, which in a sense would be a peg. But I think really a peg, as one is used to name it, like in Hong Kong, this is in our view rather unlikely.
And what about an all-out intervention? Swiss exporters want the SNB to tackle the franc strength, yet they were criticised last time when they stepped in. Does that make them more reluctant this time round?
Yes, I think one reason is, of course, that probably there needs to be also backing from the political side, and I think that is increasing now. And I think the situation is not comparable today with 2009, because first they intervened at a much higher euro-Swiss franc exchange rate, and now estimates, you can say, let's say the long-term fair value of the exchange rate was at that time around 140. Today it's at 136. So that means the first interventions were done at an overvalued euro level. So in a sense, this was already quite different to today, where it is clear from all measures that the Swiss franc is massively overvalued. So for that reason, I think that this situation is quite different. And then also from the speed of the appreciation, I think then I would say the stabilization of the currency basically worked in summer 2009, because there were interventions early, and then during a couple of months there were no interventions, because this implicit target 150 or whatever it was credible. So you had some the speculation in that sense was stabilizing, not destabilizing. But I think it only then became a problem when it was clear that at some point interest rates in Switzerland need to go up. So that means you then first had to change the language with this that you don't want a stronger Swiss franc, and I think that created then the problem, because you have to first let the currency go up before you can talk about interest rate hikes. And I think at the moment the situation, as I said, is quite different. Swiss franc is massively overvalued, and the SNB also stated there is a risk, or they are concerned about price stability, so meaning deflation, that inflation goes zero. So I think it would be quite different than in 2009.
If the SNB do decide to sell francs, when are we likely to see it?
I mean, that's difficult to say. I think with the announcement today, it shows that they are still reluctant to intervene directly in the currency market. I mean, so far what they have announced on the 3rd of August, that monetary conditions are too tight. I think we have now interest rates, LIBOR is, I think, close to 5 basis points. The euro is a little bit higher, so monetary conditions are still very tight, but they have eased. So I think if we hold these current levels around 112, 113, I think it's unlikely that we see an intervention. I think also from the price pattern we have seen, it seems that also from the chart technical picture, that this accelerating Swiss franc strength was like a bubble, you can say, which has probably burst. So we are not sure yet, but for example, if the 110 level holds in euro Swiss franc, and then there is also a good chance that the euro can go higher.
Is it fair to say that the SNB simply can't talk down the currency and need to take further action?
Yes. I think, I would say the actions worked so far. I mean, at least we have from close to parity moved up to 110 and higher. But I think then last week this talk that there could be some announcement today of a peg or whatsoever. I think it was clear that as we approached 115, that now there could be probably some disappointment. But on the other hand, I think we are still at around 112, 113, so significantly higher than at the low a couple of days before. But I think what they did today, there will probably be, or there will still be liquidity injections, just from the idea that what you basically need is capital flowing out of Switzerland or less capital inflows. And with interest rates now widening more in favor of the euro, there is clearly an incentive for capital to flow out of Switzerland.
Okay, thank you, Marcus. Marcus Hettinger there, talking to me from Zurich. We'll keep you up to date with this key story here on Dukascopy TV. Goodbye.